Thank you all so much. Over 400 of you replied through polls or DMs or emails or text messages letting me know which cover you think should be the cover for my upcoming book, I Dreamt of Flight. My goal was to come up with a couple really strong options and then have you, my subscribers and followers and supporters and friends, make the choice for me. And that's what you did. So you want to find out the results? You want to figure out what cover you all chose? Well, coming in fourth place with only about 10% of the vote is this one. This cover was designed by a Ukrainian designer. Very avant-garde, very, very cool. And I wanted him to come up with something that was maybe a little bit different. I think he did a great job doing just that. It is a little bit unusual for a fantasy cover, but I think it's still a really beautiful piece of art. And one of the cool things that I'm doing is any of the covers that got designed and did not end up getting chosen are going to be included inside the book as artwork. And I know there were a few of you who really loved this one, that this was a very strong first choice for you. You messaged me and let me know your feelings about it, so it will still be there in the finished product. Coming in third with about 16% of the vote is this one. Now, some of you were very vocal about this one. I particularly like the person who left the comment. The title has flight, he has wings, enough said. Choose this one. This is actually a cover I designed. I came up with about 7 or 8 covers myself before hiring 2 external designers. I really liked this one. I thought that it created a cool sense of mystery. I thought it was kind of sexy because he was shirtless. I maybe a little bit felt like maybe it was more appropriate for a different genre, like maybe not a fantasy book, but maybe like a movie or a TV show or maybe a different genre. But I think it is a really cool piece of art. Now, before I tell you who came in second and first, I want to show you some of the covers that you didn't get to vote on because they got eliminated earlier on in the process. So this one I love. I did this cover myself. I think it's actually a really great cover, but people pointed out that there aren't actually snakes in my book. There are snake people, or naga, half snake, half people, either very buff men or very beautiful women. And so they felt like a full-on snake didn't quite capture what the book was about. This one, loved the idea of a collage. Didn't think it fully got to where I wanted it to go. Again, done by me. This one done by me is a little bit of like a retro sort of 80s sort of vibe. Kind of reminds me of something from maybe early 90s, like when I was a kid. Again, some of this artwork will be included in the book, so you will get to see it there. From the Ukrainian designer, we have this one. Again, interesting. Don't think it was right for my book. This one I think is actually stunning, but I don't think it's right for a fantasy book. Again, maybe a movie, maybe something totally different. All right, so you ready to see the results? With 32% of the vote is actually a cover that I did. It was the first cover I came up with when I started thinking about what I wanted this book to be, and here it is. Some of you were very, very vocal about loving this cover. So because there are so many of you who really love this, and because it's artwork I created myself, I'm actually going to release a special hardcover edition of the book, and you'll be able to get it with this cover that I created rather than the regular cover that was done by an external designer. Which leads us with this cover. Coming in with 42% of the vote, I Dreamt of Flight is going to be packaged with this sexy, foreboding cover by this wonderful UK designer named Alfred Aubert. He did the cover for my first book, Journey to the Ecstatic Self, which is, I love that cover. Like, I fought hard to get that specific cover and work with that designer for that book. And so I was so thrilled to get to work with him again. I think he did a great job knocking it out of the park. The reason I like this better than the cover I designed is that sense of foreboding and that sense of sexiness. There's a big theme of manipulation and people controlling other people from out of sight or indirectly or sometimes very directly. A lot of oppression, a lot of fear, and learning to overcome that fear, learning to break out of that oppression. So I wanted that to be present in the cover. There's a lot of symbolism here that ties into elements of the story. I think the back cover is really beautiful as well. This will be the ebook, audiobook, paperback. I may list it as a hardcover as well. So those are the covers. Now the fun continues on with the next step, and this is where I need your help again. One of the things that we can do to get this highlighted on Amazon's metrics is to generate a lot of reviews during launch week. So I'm offering a free PDF download of this book. There might be little things we catch and little tweaks before it gets released. You can download it for free now, and then all I ask is that you, on May 3rd or the day or two after that, log on to Amazon, log on to Goodreads, post a review, say, hey, I received a free advanced reader copy of this book, an ARC, in exchange for an honest and unbiased review. And then put down whatever you're feeling. While I would love a gushing 5-star review, I think it's more important that you're honest and authentic about your experience. And I feel so passionately strong about this book that this is going to speak to you, that this draws on all the things we talk about on this channel, plus a grand adventure, plus my own life. I think I think you're really going to love it. So if you can leave a review, that'd be fabulous. It'd be even more fabulous if you're willing to pay the $4.99 to download the ebook. Or if you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free, because then it shows up as a verified purchase, and Amazon is much more reticent to delete those reviews versus ones that could be quote unquote bought. So that's why transparency of where you got it and why you're writing a review is so important. I think this book is really needed in the LGBTQ fantasy landscape, because while there is a greater representation of queer individuals in fantasy and literature in general, in the fantasy genre, so much of it tends to be female-centric or non-binary centric. There's very little written with a gay, male, cisgendered protagonist. And the few pieces that I've encountered that are usually written by straight women, which, I mean, great, write what you want to write about, but it doesn't come across as being fully authentic to me. So to have a gay, man-loving male character written by a man-loving male dude, I think is important. I have put 5 years of really hard work into this. I have done so much soul searching to be ready to share this with the world, and I really, really feel that it's something of value and something that you're going to celebrate. So please, buy the book, leave a review, download an advanced reader copy, share it with a friend, buy it for a loved one. It's a fabulous adventure. Even if somebody's not queer, they're still going to love it. And quite frankly, who doesn't want to read a story about an 18-year-old quartered dragon who's bullied for being different, who struggles with his weight, and wants more than anything to just finally find a place to belong? Because I know I do. That journey of trying to find belonging is also a journey of belonging to yourself. And that is precisely the adventure that Bondi goes on. I'm Kay, this is Ecstatic Self. Thank you for everything. It is such an honor to be here with you.